Welcome to Kwon's Corner. Today, I'm gonna teach you how to make LAgalbi, which is Korean barbecue short ribs. Let's get started. Before I start, I wanna give a shout out to Toys R Kids TV who requested this episode. This one is for you. First, we need 2.5 kg of LAgalbi or beef ribs. Stack them up in a large Tupperware. LA is for Los Angeles and galbi means short ribs, so LAgalbi means Los Angeles ribs. Fill the Tupperware with water to cover the ribs and leave for 30 minutes to let the blood out. You can leave galbi in its marinade in the fridge for 1 to 2 weeks. And if you freeze it, it will last 6 months, so it's perfect for meal prepping. After 30 minutes, drain the ribs and fill up with water again. Do this 2 to 3 times for 1 to 2 hours. While we are letting all the blood out, we are going to prepare our marinade. We need 1 1/4 cups of soy sauce, half a cup of mirin or rice vinegar, and 1 1/2 cups of water. Some say that Koreans didn't like imported meats, so sellers start calling American ribs LAgalbi to make them more popular. LA has a large Korean population, so it's the most familiar part of America to Koreans. 5 tablespoons of sesame oil. When I was studying in America, my mom used to make me this galbi, freeze it, and send it to me in my dormitory. Then I just need to defrost it and roast it in a pan to feel like I was back home. A sprinkle of black pepper and a tiny bit of cinnamon. Make sure not to add too much cinnamon as it can ruin the entire marinade. Add half a cup of brown sugar, mix well, and put to the side. LAgalbi is a popular dish at Korean barbecue restaurants. You can use this recipe whether you're barbecuing on a charcoal grill or just cooking at home on a pan. Now to cut up our vegetables. Chop up a handful of green onion, chop into small pieces and put to the side. When I was young, my mom cooked me beef a lot, so I usually prefer pork now that I'm grown up, but LAgalbi is still one of my favorite dishes. Now I'm getting 4 spicy peppers. Poke both sides from top to bottom with a fork. Usually Koreans don't add spicy peppers to LAgalbi marinade, but my mom adds it in to give it just a little pepper flavor. Even if you don't like spicy food, you can still add it. It doesn't make the galbi spicy. It's just a richer, more complex flavor. Next, we need half of an onion, sliced up. Most Asian markets will have some kind of pre-made LAgalbi marinade, but using fresh ingredients will make your galbi taste so much better and be so much better for you. This is a Korean pear. We need half of a Korean pear chopped and sliced. If you can't get Korean pear, you can use a whole apple, since Korean pear are very large. They're also very sweet, so my mom often uses Korean pears instead of sugar in her recipes. Put your pear and onion slices in a blender. Add a 1/2 inch piece of fresh ginger, 7 cloves of garlic, and just enough water to blend the ingredients. This marinade is very similar to the bulgogi marinade I used in my previous episode. It's very authentic Korean taste. You can watch how I make bulgogi here. If you have a good blender, you won't need to add any water, but since my blender is not great, it needed a little help. Blend it up until it's a smooth, creamy consistency. When it's all blended, add the mixture to your marinade. It's going to smell really strong, but hopefully smell good. Add the 4 spicy peppers and 90% of the chopped green onion. We're going to save the last 10% until the very end, so just put it to the side. After soaking and draining your ribs for 1 to 2 hours, pour your marinade into the Tupperware. Close and place it in the fridge for a minimum of 1 hour. The longer you marinate, the better it will taste. After 24 hours, it will taste amazing. When you're ready to eat, add a bit of oil in your pan and set to medium-high. Place in your ribs and pour a little sauce on top to get them really juicy. Some say that in the 1970s, a lot of Koreans moved to LA to pursue the American dream and ended up working in butchers. Most Americans only ate the meat of the short ribs and throw away all the meat left on the bones. Korean immigrants bought the bones cheaply and cooked them Korean barbecue style. Flip the galbi and add a little more sauce. As the sauce begins to caramelize, your ribs are going to really soak in the flavor and taste amazing. Because of the marinade, it's a little hard to cook this meat. Flip it often. LAgalbi is really good for meal prepping because once you make it, you have a whole pack of the galbi. Because in Korea, they don't sell the small pack of the galbi. So once you make it, you're all good to go for a week. This is called LAgalbi because Korea has a lot of different kinds of galbi, but this one looks like LA shape. That's why people call it LAgalbi. When your galbi is fully cooked and beginning to brown on the edges, cut between each bone to make bite-sized slices. When I was young, my mom used to cook LAgalbi with 된장찌개 or spicy soybean soup. The soup cleanses your palate from the greasiness of the beef. So if you're going to make this galbi, make sure to cook 된장찌개 too. Place your galbi on a plate. We're going to decorate the galbi with the last 10% of the green onion that we chopped earlier. You remember to save it, right? Sprinkle it on and take a picture. That's it. Our LAgalbi is all ready to eat. That's it. So good. I have to explain, but I want to admit it. Okay, the meat is really tender, but not too tender. I can still feel the texture of the meat. And the sauce is really thick, but it's like a less sweet than a barbecue sauce. It's more like a soy sauce flavor, and it's so good. So you should definitely try it. See you next week. Annyeong! If you like this episode, please hit subscribe and the like button. And if you want to see more video, it's over here and over there. And if you have any requests, please comment down below. I'll make sure to cover it in a future episode. See you next week.